Welcome to Muslim Hearth. In this video, we'll explore precious teachings of Islam that, inshallah, will strengthen your faith and bring light into your life. Imagine walking along a path that seems familiar and safe. You're following a direction you chose confidently, believing it would lead you to the destination you've always desired. But at some point, you're overtaken by a strange feeling. You continue forward, yet the further you go, the heavier your heart feels, and your mind becomes clouded. Despite your best efforts, things don't seem to improve. You wonder, is this just a rough patch, or is there something deeper to understand here? What you're experiencing might be more than just a moment of doubt or confusion. It could be a divine message. In His infinite wisdom, Allah often guides us subtly, in ways that are sometimes barely noticeable. He doesn't always send obvious miracles or clear answers. Instead, He provides us with subtle signs, hinting that perhaps we need to change direction. These signs are like markers on the journey of life, warnings and encouragements to steer us away from harm and toward what is best for us, both spiritually and personally. Too often we ignore these signs, dismissing them as passing feelings or everyday challenges, blindly persisting in our own desires, thinking that if we push just a little harder, things will eventually fall into place. But what we may not realize is that Allah sometimes uses these moments of discomfort to capture our attention. He speaks to us through our feelings of dissatisfaction, our obstacles, and even repeated failures, guiding us to see that we may not be on the right path. The Quran is filled with lessons on how Allah guides His servants through trials and subtle signs. These signs can take various forms: a closed door, a missed opportunity, an unexpected rejection, or a persistent sense of discomfort that follows us regardless of what we do. These experiences aren't mere accidents or coincidences. They are Allah's ways of prompting us to reevaluate our situation and consider a change. The question is, how can we recognize when Allah is sending us a sign? How can we distinguish a simple setback from a divine message urging us to step away from something that no longer serves us? This can be challenging, especially in a world where we're constantly distracted by material concerns. Yet in His mercy, Allah continuously guides us even when we don't immediately understand the nature of these reminders. One of the most common signs Allah uses to tell us it's time to change direction is a persistent feeling of discomfort. You might feel comfortable in your current environment, but your mind is troubled, as if something is missing. You constantly reflect on your situation, wondering why you can't find the peace you hoped for. This sense of unease, emptiness, or anxiety is often a way for Allah to show you that you're not where you should be. In these moments, it's crucial to pay attention to your emotions and ask yourself important questions. What is causing this unrest? Is it a toxic environment, a relationship that drains you spiritually, or perhaps a situation that's distancing you from your faith and your connection with Allah? It's no coincidence if this feeling persists. It's a sign that something needs to change, and that remaining in this situation could harm your spiritual well-being. Don't ignore these feelings. They are divine signs calling you to reflect, act, and redirect your life. Imagine being in a situation where everything seems to be going well, but deep down there's a persistent heaviness. You feel comfortable on the surface, but inside there's a constant agitation and unexplained unease. This feeling, brothers and sisters, isn't just simple anxiety. It's much more. When the soul feels stifled, it's a signal that something is wrong, whether it's your environment, relationships, or life choices. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, sends us subtle messages to guide us away from what might harm our spiritual well-being. This inner discomfort, this feeling of being lost or out of sync with your own life, is one of these messages. But often, we ignore these signs, thinking it's just a temporary phase. In reality, it's a divine call. When your peace is constantly disturbed, it's Allah indicating that it's time to reflect on your choices. It could be a toxic relationship, a draining work environment, or a decision that pulls you away from your spiritual values. Allah doesn't want us to live in worry or doubt. He wants us to find peace, both inwardly and outwardly. If this isn't the case, it's time to leave and choose a new path. Don't tell yourself that it's normal to live with this emotional or spiritual insecurity. At times, life confronts us with closed doors. Despite our best efforts, the opportunities we thought were certain disappear, projects fail, and nothing seems to go as planned. This isn't merely a failure or streak of bad luck. Behind every closed door often lies divine protection, a redirection toward something better, something more aligned with your spiritual destiny. Closed doors aren't there to frustrate you. Rather, they're there to guide you. If you find that despite your best efforts, nothing is working as you wished, consider it a message from Allah. Perhaps what you desire isn't what's good for you, even if it seems like the ideal solution to you. Your connection with Allah is the most precious thing you possess. It's your direct link to the Creator, your source of peace and guidance. But sometimes, this connection becomes weakened by the people around you, or the environments you're in. If you find that certain relationships or situations are pulling you away from your prayers, your remembrance of Allah, or your religious practices, it's a clear sign that it's time to step away. Emotional stagnation is another sign that something in your life needs to change. If you constantly feel stuck, uninspired, or emotionally drained, it's not just a difficult phase. It's a divine call to take steps to change your situation. Allah never intends for His servants to stay in situations that prevent their growth, both spiritually and emotionally. Recurring signs are one of the clearest ways through which Allah guides us. These signs can appear in various forms: verses from the Quran that keep coming up in your life, advice from friends or family, or repeated events. These repetitions are not mere coincidences. They're divine reminders that it's time for change. In conclusion, it's essential to pay attention to these divine signs, to recognize the moments when Allah is guiding you toward a better path. Don't let fear or doubt stop you from making decisions that will bring you closer to a more peaceful and spiritual life. If you notice these signs in your own life, perhaps it's time to take action. Trust in Allah, take that first step, and witness the blessings that will follow. If this message has resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on your life. Perhaps Allah is already sending you signs. Be attentive, and above all, have the courage to follow the path He has laid out for you. And before we end, if this video has been helpful, and you wish to continue learning and growing in faith, don't forget to Muslim Hearth and turn on the notifications to receive our latest videos. Recurring signs are one of the clearest ways through which Allah guides us. These signs can appear in various forms: verses from the Quran that keep coming up in your life, advice from friends or family, or repeated events. These repetitions are not mere coincidences. They're divine reminders that it's time for change. In conclusion, it's essential to pay attention to these divine signs, to recognize the moments when Allah is guiding you toward a better path. Don't let fear or doubt stop you from making decisions that will bring you closer to a more peaceful and spiritual life. If you notice these signs in your own life, perhaps it's time to take action. Trust in Allah, take that first step, and witness the blessings that will follow. If this message has resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on your life. Perhaps Allah is already sending you signs. Be attentive, and above all, have the courage to follow the path He has laid out for you. And before we end, if this video has been helpful and you wish to continue learning and growing in faith, don't forget to subscribe to Muslim Hearth and turn on the notifications to receive our latest videos.